All right. So, welcome to this episode. And this is going to be an episode where we talk less about theory and we'll talk about something very practical within German. And these are German umlaute. So, an umlaut is there's like three additional letters that the German alphabet has. Actually, the German alphabet has four additional letters other than the A to Z alphabet that is the same as in the English alphabet. But we're just talking about three of them. The fourth is something that we call in German the scharfes S, the sharp S, or the SZ, SZ. But we're not talking about this one. We're talking about the umlaute. So the umlaute, they look like an A, O, or U, or in German A, U, with two dots. And so the letter that's an A with two dots is called an umlaut A. And the O with two dots is called umlaut O. And the U with two dots is called umlaut U. Now let's look, why is it even umlaut? So laut, der Laut in German, is the sound, something that you can hear. And in this case, referring to like any letter has a laut connected to it. So a letter is a representation of a sound. So that means like when I say something, when I say die Vase, the vase, I have a whole lot of sounds, and these sounds are written up with letters. So a laut is a sound, and is a little two letters, that I can add to the beginning of a word. That is called a prefix, by the way. I'm going to make a separate episode about that at some point. And this prefix in this case means that something is changed. So an umlaut is technically a changed sound. Or not just technically, it is a changed sound. We're going to look at why it is changed. The reason it is changed is because of, I'm going to give you some examples later, but very often, or in many cases, when I have a sound, let's say we take the word Buch, das Buch, the book, and we have some sort of change, and the obvious change here is to make a plural out of it. So I'm talking about books instead of one book. And then we call this in German die Bücher. And in this case, the U in Buch becomes Ü in Bücher. Okay, so that's why it's called umlaut. So let's go through them one after the other with a few examples, okay? So please speak after me. If you can't speak out loud, then do come back at a later time to this episode, because it really only makes sense if you say that. It's not going to be perfect because I can't listen to you and make you repeat it. But honestly, the only way how you really become good is that you just keep doing it. Yes, I'm not there because it's a recorded thing, obviously. And if you were in a lesson, I would make sure that you can say it. But all I would really do is I would just keep saying it to you and make you repeat it. And you can do that yourself. When you are doing it yourself, that's not just for the umlaute. Just repeat it a little more often to be really sure that you got it right. And don't worry so much about it. Perfection is not what we're going for. We're going to go for improvement. Okay, good. So, first letter A, like I'm going to give you a few examples here for each letter. So, for example, an A would be der Mann, the man, or die Hand, the hand, or das Land. So, I'm going to say A, you repeat it. A, Mann, Hand, Land. Okay, good. And then could be der Tänzer. It's a dancer. der Tänzer. Oder der Bäcker. It's a baker. Der Bäcker. 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 So both of these could be, all of these, every vowel in German. Oh, so a vowel in German, Vokal, is a sound that you just make it basically with it's ah or o. Your tongue or your lips are not stopping the airflow out of your mouth. It's a vowel. A, o, u. So the typical vowels are a, e, I, o, u, or in German a, e, I, o, u. And these umlaut, they're additional vowels. So we have a, e, I, O, Ö, U. These are all the vowel sounds in German. But don't worry about them. That's just something you hear. I'm just telling you, do not get confused or don't be upset if it's a little bit confusing in the beginning. We have a lot of sounds and you're not used to all of them. But you will be. And the way how to get used to them is to just repeat them. So all of these could be short or long. Just telling you, okay? Good. So let's go to the next one. That is O and Ö. O could be long or short. So let's say we could have, for a long one, das Brot, bread, or the rose, die Rose, die Rose, or the son, meaning the male child, der Sohn, der Sohn. That's long. And short sounds a little different, but it's not going to be hard for you to say. The head, der Kopf. Der Kopf. Or the skirt, der Rock. Der Rock. Or the sun, in this case, the one in the sky, making everything nice and shiny, giving us warmth and life. Die Sonne. Die Sonne. Okay, so that's O or O, could, depending if it's long or short. Now, and then the umlaut is Ö. That could be short, for example, a spoon. Der Löffel. Der Löffel. Or it could be long. Öl, it's the oil. Öl. Öl. Or bad, like a bad person. Böse. Böse. And then we could have pairs very often, and that's where the umlaut idea is very often the case. So, for example, all of these are singular plural examples. So, der Mann, the man, der Mann, and the plural is die Männer. Die Männer. So, Mann with an A, letter A, and then we have umlaut A in the plural, die Männer. I'm just going to give you another few examples. Keep repeating them after me. Der Ball, die Bälle. Oh, by the way, as always, before we go into the whole thing here, I'm going to give you quite a few examples of words. And I think it is a little tough if you don't have them written up. So I highly suggest to you that you download the cheat sheet or the free PDF that goes with this episode. And I'm going to put it bettergerman.info/umlaute. So go there and you can download it there. So then we have die Hand, the hand, die Hand, die Hand, die Hände, Die Hände. I'm going to put a few more examples in the PDF for you to download, but I don't want to make the episode too long. So let's go. We just did the O, yes, and now a few O pair examples, okay? For example, these could also be long or short. So das Loch, that's a hole. Das Loch. Die Löcher. That's a short example. Or der Topf. Die Töpfe. That's a pot. Could be a flower pot or a pot for cooking. Der Topf. Die Töpfe. And then to give you an example with a long vowel, the oven or something used for heating. Der Ofen. Die Öfen. Der Ofen. Die Öfen. Or the floor. Der Boden. Die Böden. Die Böden. All right. Or let's move to U, the last vowel, the last umlaut also. So the normal letter U. And that seems to be, for some reason, the one where I have seen that there are the most difficulties in students. So if you have difficulties here, don't be desperate. Don't worry. Just keep practicing. Keep trying it. Keep hearing it. And then you will be able to say it. The thing that is happening here, if there is a sound that you don't have in your own language, you're not used to hearing, it is very hard to say it. It's not super hard. It's just the point is you will not be able to hear it at first because it's a sound that you're not familiar with. And you actually have to first learn to hear it. And then once you actually started to hear it, you will be able to say that. I've learned that actually from one of my students. This was many, many times ago. At that time, I didn't teach German. At that time, I was teaching one of my students English. It was a private lesson in English. And we were actually chatting a little bit. And she told me, or she tried to teach me her name. And it had sounds in it that I was familiar with it. And I think I spent hours, it just felt like hours. And I wasn't even able to hear it. So anyway, don't be surprised. It can happen. Sometimes for some people it is very easy. And for some people it takes a little bit to be able to hear it. Don't get upset. It's just the way it is. It's the same thing for kids. Some kids learn speaking fast. They speak when they're a year old. Some people start speaking when they're 3 years old. That doesn't even mean that they're smart or not smart, even though there are markers and whatever things. In actual life, people just learn with different speed. And even within the same subject, when you observe yourself, you will learn some things faster and some things not. Like some words you will remember easily and some words will come to you with more practice. The thing is, don't waste your time on like, oh no, why can't I do that? Just practice calmly and quietly. You can do that. Okay, good. So last letter here, last umlaut. Let's do a few examples for U first. So it's U and Ü. The couple is U and Ü. U, like for example, der Mund. Again, these could be short or long. Der Mund would be a short one. That's for U. Or Mutter, the mother. Mutter. Mutter. Or Kuss, that's a kiss. Der Kuss. And just to give you a few long U's, der Hut, that's a hat. Der Hut. Der Hut. Or a train is der Zug. Der Zug. So these are long ones. And now let's do some umlaut. For example, a short one would be die Küche. Die Küche. That's the kitchen, die Küche. Or a bowl, die Schüssel. Die Schüssel. And just to have a few long ones too, a long one, just an Ü would be die Tür. Die Tür. And now let's do another pair with U and Ü. So, like Mutter, that's the mother, and the plural is die Mütter. Die Mütter, that's a short one. Or a long one would be der Bruder. It's the brother, der Bruder. Die Brüder. Die Brüder. And der Kuss, we've had that, der Kuss, the kiss. Und die Küsse. Die Küsse. Or der Fuß. Die Füße. Die Füße. All right. So, as I said, go download the PDF if you haven't. This is probably someone that I would go and visit again and listen to again. And by the way, if you're like a beginner and you haven't gone into pronunciation at all, I highly suggest to you to first listen to the podcast, episode 18. That's where I go over the alphabet, and there I introduce those. So in my course, the Get Talking course, there is more pronunciation drills. And there will be a pronunciation course coming up. So if you're following me, following my podcast, you will hear when I have the actual pronunciation course ready. That's probably going to be the end of this year. So hope that this is helping you, what you would like me to help you with. And absolutely, I'm thrilled to hear from you. So you can always let me know. You can write to me at podcast@bettergerman.info. Or if you like the podcast, then please leave a review, leave a 5-star review, and I will absolutely read every review that I get. And subscribe, yes, of course, and tell other people about it. That would mean a lot, and it helps me to continue to do the podcast. So talk to you soon, and bye-bye. Tschüss. Maybe you have had the thought, maybe I'm not good at German. Then I want to assure you that's not the point. That's not the problem. I'm going to show you what is the problem. And how I show you is I have actually put together a workshop. It's a free live workshop on Zoom. And in there, I'm going over what could make you think that. We'll cover what could go wrong, but I'm also going to show you how can it be done right? So go to bettergerman.info/workshop and sign up for the workshop, and I'll see you there.